On a random Monday afternoon. You're on your lunch break, you got 20 minutes to kill. What are you watching? Probably YouTube, right?
I don't know about y'all, but the first thing I do when I eat, when I go to the bathroom, when I wake up, sometimes when I wake up, when I take a shit, I go straight to YouTube. Literally, it's like unlimited content.
Okay, let's switch it up. It's Friday night, you're on your couch, you pick up the remote. What app do you choose? If you said YouTube, you're not alone. Here's the crazy thing though, YouTube isn't just dominating short videos anymore. It's taking over the biggest screen in your house. So how did YouTube go from snackable—
I remember there used to be a time when people would always go to Netflix to watch TV, but that's really back then when like Netflix like had good shows to make, you know? That I don't know, maybe that was like 5-10 years ago, but now it's really kind of just, it's really just IG or YouTube. Even nowadays when you go on like Facebook, the people be having like short skits of like short series of like shows that they make on, even on YouTube.
content to the king of your living room? And what does that mean for the future of streaming? Well, we gonna talk about it. Let's start with some numbers that might blow your mind. First up, YouTube is now the most watched streaming platform on
I
TV.
believe
In
that.
January alone, it accounted for 8.6% of all TV streaming time in the US, while Netflix sat at 7.9, which is, that blew my mind. I was like,
And I also think Netflix is like second because Netflix kind of recycles different shows, different series from like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I remember the other day I was looking at Netflix and I'm like, yo, like they're broadcasting shows from like 20 years ago.
YouTube beat Netflix? It sure did, John. It sure did. And then that is more than the next 8 platforms combined. But it doesn't stop there. Everyday users around the world watch over 1 billion hours of YouTube content on their TVs. Watch time for YouTube on TV has grown by over 400% over the past few years.
There's even this, if you go on YouTube right now and you look up live 2025 blockbuster movie, you're gonna see like even movies are they even posting movies. Like the other day I saw the X-Men, I saw the Wolverine and Deadpool movie on YouTube. And it's like I think they're particularly doing that for a specific reason, because I think YouTube kind of understands that, okay, like if we let these people get away with posting certain things or streaming certain, like, you know, movies, it's gonna allow people to stay on the platform more longer.
Meanwhile, Netflix hours are just now starting to plateau. And here's where it gets really interesting. YouTube isn't just popular, it is basically essential. YouTube is the second most visited website in the world with over 28.5 billion visits every month. But Netflix is sitting way back here at number 26 with only 1.9 billion. What a loser. But it's not just about the clicks. When people go on YouTube, it's been documented that they stay nearly 3 times longer than they do on Netflix, where you go to watch a movie, where you go to watch shows, but people stay on YouTube longer. Let's talk about why that is. So at this point, YouTube isn't just competing with Netflix, it's pulling way ahead, which is great for us creators.
And I think when Netflix was like at its peak, there wasn't that much streaming service to look at. When we look at Netflix at its peak, like back in 2012, I think 2014, they really wasn't competing with anyone. Like Hulu was out, but it wasn't as big. Disney Plus wasn't really a real thing. It's just like, at that time, Netflix was like way ahead of the game. But now the thing is, they start to understand like, okay, like we need a budget for like all these movies and renting out all these shows to get the copyright. It's just like this. They're understanding that when it comes to content, there's like too much demand for content, but not a lot of supply.
But how did we get here? Why are people choosing to watch creator-led videos over the blockbuster hits that Netflix has? Well, for a long time, there's kind of been this line in the sand where media executives would pose that this is where you get the best TV shows and the best movies, and this is the entertainment streaming platform, and that over there, that's YouTube. That's kids playing Minecraft and cat videos. But there isn't that line in the sand anymore, and they can't pretend that there is. And that's why so many people are shifting their attention from platforms like Netflix to YouTube, because it's not about the variety that's offered. It's about something that feels real, that you can connect to. On Netflix, you can get scripted reality shows, which, to be fair to them, can be entertaining, but on YouTube, you get people sharing their personal experiences and their stories, and it's just...
I was telling my girl this the other day, like, there has not been a single there has not been a single thing I learned today that I have not learned on YouTube. Bro, I practically learned how to speak better on YouTube. I damn near learned how to get a trade skill from YouTube. So the thing of the matter is, we really have to understand that when it comes to like content as a whole, we cannot sit there and be like, oh, YouTube is not the place to be. It really is.
It's something that you can really, really connect to, and it can cause a profound change in yourself because you learn something along the way. One day you might be watching somebody travel the world with just a backpack and a camera, and the next day you're learning how to change your tire in some random dude's garage.
Some real shit.
You might be focusing on a new hobby that you never knew existed because YouTube just thought that you might like it. Lately, videos are becoming longer and longer. That 4 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours. I've seen some that are like 70 plus hours. Personally, I watch a podcast every week that's like 4 hours long. I can't finish it in one sitting sometimes, so I'll come back to it. But I do know that if I have a 2
I'm not gonna lie, he's actually speaking facts. Like, even now that I'm getting older, I don't really have that much friends that I talk to on a day-to-day basis, and I practically work overnight. So when I'm at work overnight, I'll be thinking to myself, like, what the hell should I be doing? And I'll be listening to 4-hour podcasts. You can watch that on Netflix too, but the thing is, it's like, it really varies. You don't really get that like engaging aspect to like how YouTube is, where it's like a person is talking to the camera and like you're talking to them like from a personal standpoint.
hour movie on Netflix and I pause it halfway through and go do something, I'm not gonna finish watching that video. I'll feel like, yeah, I kind of got the idea, I'm just gonna watch something new. But for YouTube, it's unpredictable. You don't know what you're gonna get out of the experience, and you want to be there for it. On YouTube, creators aren't just producing content, they are building relationships. They're responding to comments, and they're tailoring their content to what the viewers want, what they're asking for. I mean, I know it might sound crazy, but I don't have a connection to Mark Wahlberg or Chris Pratt, but I do have a connection to my fellow creators, this community that we've all built, that we share things with each other, we learn from each other, and that is something that just can't be replicated. It's the same reason that a gaming live stream or a day in the life vlog can seem more personal than a television show. So, what happens when content feels real and connection takes center stage? People stick around. And when you look at the numbers, the viewing time, the visits, the engagement, it becomes pretty clear that YouTube isn't just winning the content game, it is dominating. Okay, I think I made my point. But the connection, it's not the only reason. At the moment, Netflix charges $15.49 a month for the 5 TV shows that you have it for. Okay, let's be honest. Maybe a couple movies, but still waiting on Stranger Things, you know what I'm saying? When all of the licenses are like divided between all of these different streaming companies, and then one comes along that kind of has it handled. Like I have Paramount Plus on YouTube. I get so much from it that I'm like, why am I paying for anything else? It's ridiculous. So I just went through my Netflix account and I realized that I only have it for 3 shows. Yeah, I am canceling Netflix. I don't need it. I got YouTube, Paramount Plus stuff, whatever. It's already dominated in the connection realm, but now it's like, you know what? I think I'm gonna take your entire platform model too. Like, that's YouTube. YouTube Premium is cheaper than Netflix, and it bundles as a music service, which I don't really listen to a whole lot of music, but I do use it for the podcast, so I love it. But it's not just about the cost, it's about the ecosystem. Netflix spends billions of dollars on original programming just trying to keep the subscriptions coming in, whereas YouTube, it doesn't have to do that. Creators like you and me are just giving it our content, and we're happy to do so. Why? Because of the opportunities that YouTube gives us. The creator-driven economy is why YouTube's content is so diverse and why it will always keep growing. YouTube's approach doesn't just give viewers endless options, it scales effortlessly. Every single day, millions of videos get uploaded, which leads to thousands of hours of new content for people to consume. And YouTube doesn't lift a finger to do any of it. Well, they monitor it, they make sure it goes with the guidelines. They lift a lot of fingers when it comes to security, but it's us making the content. And that is huge. We don't have to rely on a Hollywood budget. We don't have to get permission from some studio. It's us telling our story. All we need is a camera, an idea, and an upload button. Where's your upload button, Netflix? Didn't think so. But there's one more piece of the puzzle that we have to break down, and that is, how did YouTube turn this free content model into a money-making behemoth? YouTube's content library is massive. I mean, millions of creators every day are uploading, making sure that the viewers have something new to watch, which in turn makes sure that advertisers always have a new way to showcase their products. But the best part is YouTube shares that revenue with its creators. Over the past 3 years, YouTube has paid out more than $70 billion through its partner program. Think about what that means.
Nah, this is crazy.